Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to another candle review. Today we are going to tackle a much beloved fragrance from Bath & Body Works. So we recently had the triumphant return of the Blueberry Pumpkin Patch. And I was really excited to get my hands on this one because I've heard so many amazing things about it. I was not one of the people that picked this up back in the day. Oddly enough, I do remember coming across it in my local stores, but I remember thinking personally at that point that like blueberry wasn't much of like a fall fragrance for me, and so I totally skipped it over. However, ever since then, I've kind of regretted doing that because clearly this is an amazing scent. I really love this one, so spoiler, I like this candle, but yeah, I just remember in the past thinking like, what does blueberry have to do with fall? So I don't remember what the exact year was. I am not one of those Bath & Body Works candle historians. I don't know, I'm a mom. I don't have the brain capacity for that kind of stuff. So, but I do remember seeing it in store, and then I remember it also being gone very quickly because people just snatched this one up. So what I have sitting next to it is actually one of the fragrances that apparently a few years later came out that was apparently a repackage of Blueberry Pumpkin Patch, and that is Blackberry Bramble Tea. This came out in what I think was the Artisan collection, Artisan Market collection. Hold on, let me get the little lid here. Yeah, Artisan Market collection. And I actually had several of the 3 wicks, and just I think about 2 years ago I burned through the last backup of my 3 wicks. But I have several of these little mason jars still in my collection. So I was happy to still have this to be able to compare the two, because everyone was saying that the Blackberry Bramble Tea was a repackage of the Blueberry Pumpkin Patch. Now, I actually smell a little bit of a difference between the two, but I want to like kind of treat this as my normal reviews. So we're going to read through the fragrance notes. I'm going to tell you what I smell in this one. I'll tell you a little bit about the strength and the throw, and then I will compare it to the Blackberry Bramble Tea. So let's go ahead and so their description here says what it smells like is a fresh, fruity fall celebration. I still stand by the fact that like blueberry is not really like a fall fruit to me. Like blueberries, typically, at least where we live, the blueberry season kind of comes to an end around like the middle end of August. So yeah, I've just never considered blueberries to be fall appropriate necessarily, but then again, neither really are blackberries, so, but we'll get into that. Anyway, all right, so the fragrance notes here are farm fresh blueberries, ripe pumpkin, and autumn spice. Okay, it's the autumn spice here that definitely lends this to being maybe a little bit more appropriate in terms of being a fall candle. And you have to remember, like I'm coming at this as someone who is a very seasonal burner. Like once the summer is over, I cut off pretty much all of like the summer fruity scents. So I typically don't burn strawberry candles anymore. I don't do much in the way of peach. Although Bath & Body Works has also had some like fall peach type scents out in the past that were actually quite good. So, but yeah, just personally, I tend to just cut all that stuff off. I do go into like apple fragrances as my transition before I hit the pumpkins, the cranberries, you know, the more like fall citrus type scents. So I have a very clear delineation of when I burn what in my house. I realize that the vast majority of people out there just burn whatever makes them happy, but I just kind of go by the seasons personally. So this still doesn't exactly scream fall to me. However, I do definitely appreciate the autumnal spices that are in here. This is not an overly spicy scent at all. I feel like I get maybe like a little touch of cinnamon, a little touch of nutmeg in here. The star of this particular fragrance is definitely the blueberry, but I don't smell any pumpkin at all. I know they claim to have quote unquote ripe pumpkin in here, but I just don't pick up pumpkin. If you smell the pumpkin, definitely let me know down below. But for me, this is a really nice, I wouldn't say it's like the most authentic blueberry. It's a little bit more along the lines of like a candied blueberry, but not super candied, but also not crazy authentic. It's a great fragrance oil. Like whatever blueberry fragrance oil they used here, it's a good one. I like it a lot. And I do think it blends really nicely with those autumnal spices, but that's really literally all that I get out of this is the blueberry mixed with those autumnal spice notes that I mentioned, and that's it. And it's perfectly lovely as that. Like this smells so good. In fact, I also think this would be a great like transitional scent into fall. So I guess at the time of year that it's coming out now here in August, it definitely kind of makes sense for those of us that are maybe ready to move on from summer. Like this would be a great way to ease out of the summer fragrances, to still have a little bit of that remainder of, you know, the summer berries, but also starting to embrace a little touch of fall here and there with this one. So I love the fragrance. I'm glad that I finally had a chance to purchase it and burn it. And I would like some more. I think it's really nice. And if it's still available when I am back from vacation in store and there's a decent sale, I just recently got a bunch of like 20% off coupons after not getting them for a little bit. So if there's a good sale and I can take my 20% off coupons, I will definitely consider picking up a couple more of this, because again, to me, this is going to be a great transitional scent along with those apple fragrances to get me like a little further into September before I'm fully ready to commit having my house smell like a pumpkin patch basically. So anyway, I want to compare it now to Blackberry Bramble Tea because you know, as I keep hearing, this Blackberry Bramble Tea was a repackage of the original Blueberry Pumpkin Patch. So I'm gonna stick my nose in this one more time just to like confirm it. Yeah. Okay, listen. I feel like to me there is definitely a difference between a blackberry and a blueberry. And I really do think that that Blackberry Bramble Tea smells more like a blackberry than it does a blueberry. But the thing that they completely have in common is that autumnal spice blend. It's exactly the same, you guys. Both candles are not like overly sweet. They're not cloying in their composition at all. In fact, they're super, super pleasant. But yeah, I feel like what they share is the autumnal spice note. But I do think that the Blackberry Bramble Tea really smells more blackberry than it does blueberry to me. And I think this Blueberry Pumpkin Patch smells like blueberry to my nose. So that's just my take. I've been in love with this Blackberry Bramble Tea for a while, and I remember being really bummed when I burned my last 3-wick, because you definitely get a better performance out of 3 wicks than you do these 1-wick jars that they have. But that being said, I'm definitely going to work through my remainder of these Blackberry Bramble Teas. I think I'm just gonna maybe pair 3 together and create my own little 3-wick. I'll probably get the amount of fragrance that I want. But in terms of the strength and throw of the Blueberry Pumpkin Patch, I'm gonna give the strength of this one like a solid 7. Like it's a really nice, like stronger medium strength. And the throw, I would put it actually more of like an 8. This fills almost the bulk of the downstairs of my house. It really is a great traveler in that sense. I haven't noticed anything funky yet with the wax or the wicks. They're still doing good right now, but as you can see, I'm just kind of reaching the halfway burn with this burn here. I have found that kind of the best thing with these Bath & Body Works candles is for me to just not burn them beyond the 3-hour mark. I think that's where I tend to get into a little bit of trouble with these, but sometimes you do have just a certain scent from Bath & Body Works that will get sooty and dirty on you no matter what. In that case, I just put those into a candle crock and they're good to go. So anyway, I'm a huge fan of this. I'm really glad that this came back, not only for me to finally be able to try it, but for all of you guys out there who have loved this fragrance for years to be able to get it again. So I'm really happy for you guys. I'm sure there's a lot of people stocking up. This is currently still available on the Bath & Body Works website. Seems to be getting really good reviews. So I think we have a winner here, you guys. Definitely a big fan of this scent overall. I'll be getting more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, if you still have a blackberry bramble tea or you have a super memory and you can kind of remember what the blackberry bramble tea smells like and then compare that to the blueberry pumpkin patch, let me know your thoughts down below. But just to my nose, there is a slight difference between the two. I mean, they're both kind of like a darker berry. So, I mean, I guess I can see the comparison there, but I really don't think that that fruit note is quite the same to my nose. So anyway, thanks for being here for this review. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please subscribe if you're new. I will go ahead and link this in the description box down below. So if you want to go read up some other people's reviews, you can certainly do that. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.